Are you wondering how to work out? What you shouldn't do? Well, today I'm going to be going over 5 fitness mistakes that I commonly see when people come to me. And I don't want you to get stalled out or stuck because that is what I find people doing when they're not sure what they're doing. They're just not doing anything. So tune in for these 5 fitness mistakes to avoid today. And friends, if you're interested in having a personal trainer, I encourage you to take advantage of my sale I have going on now. If you sign up for my personal training app by June 2nd, you're going to get my course, Healthy Inside and Out, for free. So this is a big value. So you can have your personal training and you can also work on the nutrition piece because if you're wanting to lose weight, you really need to do both. So this is for you if you're not sure exactly what to do when it comes to exercise. You want to make sure you're exercising correctly. You want everything laid out for you. You want that support and accountability. And maybe you also want things customized as you're traveling or you're going on vacation. And I can do that all inside of my app. So take advantage of the sale. And even just doing the personal training app, it's a really affordable way to have a personal trainer. So there will be a link down below where you can get started. After you sign up, you're going to get access to the course and you're also going to get a call with me, a one-to-one private call so we can really make sure we're getting the app, healthy habits, everything set up and customized just for you. All right, friends, and if you have any questions, just reach out. You can always message me on Facebook or Instagram. Hi, friends, and welcome to the Healthy Beyond 40 show. I'm Michelle, mama 4 and military wife, and I'm passionate about helping women get healthy from the inside out so they can feel better and live their best life. Do you feel like you're struggling to lose weight and get in shape? If you're ready to develop healthier habits, exercise consistently, and lose weight sustainably, then you're in the right place. I combine my expertise from my doctorate in physical therapy to my experience as a health coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher to bring you actionable steps for a healthy lifestyle. No magic pill here, so lace up those shoes and get moving. All right, so the first mistake I see is people focusing too much on cardio. And I think for so long when we look at exercise recommendations or doctor recommendations, it's so many minutes of moderate intensity exercise. And they really don't typically have a strength training or something else. So we end up focusing more on cardio. And what happens when we do that and we focus just on cardio is we're not gaining muscle, but sometimes we also stress our metabolism. So when we go from doing no cardio to doing quite a bit of cardio, it can actually put a strain on our metabolism. Also, what happens inside of our body is sort of a cascade of hormones. So when we burn a lot of calories at once, like we do in cardio, it bumps up our hunger cues. So you might notice that if you really haven't been doing much cardio or exercise and you go and do an hour class somewhere that is mostly cardio based, you might be really hungry after. And then you eat more because that's what your body needs. It just burned a lot of calories off at once and your body's not accustomed to that. So sometimes it really doesn't help too much. And there was even a study where most people, when they did cardio, most people did not lose weight. There was a small amount of people that did lose weight. And there was also a small amount of people that gained weight. So I'm not saying don't do cardio or that it doesn't have any benefit. But when it comes from a weight loss perspective, if you are focusing a lot on cardio and using cardio to lose weight, you might be noticing that you're not getting anywhere or you're feeling super hungry. So a great way to include some cardio is to do shorter sessions, less intense, like walking or bike riding, still getting your heart rate up. Sometimes I'll even do strength training in a way that includes cardio. HIIT can also be another great alternative versus these really long, hour-long cardio sessions. Number 2 that goes along with that last one is not including strength training. So this can be a big mistake. And as we get older, we want to maintain our muscle mass and potentially even put on some muscle mass. We want to be strong as we're getting older. Our muscle is also powerful for our metabolism. So we want a strong metabolism, and to have a strong metabolism, we have to have muscle mass. And to have muscle mass, we have to do strength training. So there's a lot of pieces that goes into that. So we really want to make sure that we're including strength training. So we're feeling those muscles burn. We are working them. We're rebuilding and repairing our muscles, and that's how they get stronger. So for me, that can be working out at home, using some hand weights. It's also when I do yoga. A lot of times I'm doing a yoga that's for strength training. So I'm holding a pose and my leg muscles are burning. Or the yoga might have, some different push-ups or different ways that I'm using my arms. Or, man, even if you do a chair pose in yoga, so where you're sort of sitting in that squat holding, and if you have your arms up by your ears, like your elbows are straight, and you're really trying to bring your arms back a little bit, man, does that engage those upper back, upper shoulder muscles. So you can do strength training with just body weight too. You're going to get a benefit from obviously having weights and doing different types of exercises, but you can do strength training in a lot of different ways, and it's super important to include. So I'm going to include a little clip here from my client, Noah, who used my personal training app so she could get her dose of strength training and know exactly what to do.
I really enjoyed working with Michelle for my personal training. She gave me tailored workouts to me that allowed me to fit my workouts into my everyday life, and it wasn't a huge hassle. I told her exactly what I wanted, and she gave me the workouts that were available. And also if I had any adjustments that I wanted to make or any tweaks I was wanting to make, she changed those really quickly on and responded really quickly. She was always accessible to me. In the winter months, most of my workouts were inside of my garage or my house. I told her what equipment I had, and then she gave me the workouts that I could use the equipment I had with. And then as it started to get nicer outside, she started giving me yoga classes that I could do in my backyard. So I was able to be outside and get that outside time while also being with her and working out. So it was amazing. I absolutely love Michelle, and I'd recommend her to anybody that's looking to be more active in their life.
All right. Hope you enjoyed hearing from Noah and what it was like working with me. And I think when it comes to strength training and exercise in general, whether that's with me or someone else, it's really important to have a plan, to be intentional and have things laid out so that you are remembering to do it each day and you have some intention. Anytime we're doing something, the more intention and strategy we can have with it, the more likely we're going to be sticking to it. If we're sort of all over the place, less likely that we are going to stick with it. So number 3 here is going from 0 to 100 and getting burned out. So when it comes to exercise and really food in general, also thinking about eating and weight loss, is when we go from 0 to 100. So when we have a very drastic change, our body doesn't like it. And we definitely know this with exercise. It doesn't feel good if we haven't exercised or we do something where we push our body real hard and we get super sore. We also, just like when we do too much cardio, we might find that we are getting over hungry and we're sort of in this vicious cycle. So when we start with exercise, we actually want to start slow. And this can be hard for people, and especially when we're in that all or nothing mindset where we're all in or we're all out, is we have this idea when we start exercising, we got that motivation, we got to go all in, we got to do these harder workouts. But actually what I find with people who can stay consistent and are looking for more sustainable health, when we start slower, it is so much better. So a lot of times if I have a client who hasn't worked out in a while, we're going to start with 5 or 10 minute workouts the first couple weeks. And I'm going to tell them, make sure that you don't push yourself too hard. Actually just learn the correct form and don't worry about pushing too hard. We want to get that muscle memory in. We want our body to feel good. We don't want to feel super sore and want to quit and give up. And literally that's just like a couple weeks, and then we start slowly bumping it up and we can sustain it. So we have to get out of that like 0 to 100 all or nothing mindset and really start slow and know that we're doing this really for a lifetime. Especially when people work with me, I'm not worried about getting someone in shape for summer or looking good in a bathing suit or something like that. Some of those pieces definitely might come along, but my goal is to have people get strong and healthy in a way that feels good and in a way that they can sustain. Because this is where true change happens, and this is where we feel good about our body. All right, number 4 is not including flexibility. So when we're looking at exercise, we want to look at it holistically, just like anything else. So we want that strength training. We want a little bit of cardio or doing things where we're moving, getting our heart rate up. And when we do strength training, we're shortening our muscles. So we have to add some flexibility in there. So we need to do the opposite. When we stretch, we are lengthening our muscles. Because you probably have seen some really like big buff guys. Their arms are pretty rigid. Like I'm hunching my shoulders forward a little bit. Their pecs are super tight. We want to make sure that we're stretching out muscles and we're keeping that full range of motion as we go. This helps to prevent injury. This just helps us to feel better. It helps us with functional things like bending down to tie our shoes or reaching for things or doing other things. This is also why I like including yoga for strength training, because when you're doing a yoga for strength training, you can do your strength, you can get balance in there and flexibility all in one. If you're doing strength training, it's really great to add some flexibility exercises at the end. I also sometimes will stretch in the evening. That is usually when my husband and I watch a little bit of TV. So we might sit and stretch on the floor together first. So you have to make sure that you're including flexibility. And my last mistake I hear or see is not tuning into your body. And I think for so many of this in so many different areas of our life, we have not tuned into our body. And so specifically here, talking about exercise today is sometimes we just push ourselves or we're following some program and we think that we have to do something to reach whatever goals. And we don't take that time to tune into our bodies and what it actually needs. For example, last week I was having a pretty stressful week. There were some bigger things going on. And I actually decided intentionally, like, I'm not going to do strength training. I think I ended up doing it one short session at the end of the week, but I did yoga instead. So it wasn't like I didn't do anything. I went for my walks. I played pickleball a couple times and I focused more on yoga because I knew that I needed that. I was able to tune into my body and respect my body now and know what it needs. So it's really important when it comes to exercise that we can start to do this and ask our body for what it needs. This is what you are not going to find in programs where everything is laid out and you have to do this, this, and this. So when I work with my clients, if they're having a hard week or maybe if they're traveling, we're going to put some different type of workouts in there. You need that flexibility. You need to be able to tune into your body and know what it needs. And this might also change season to season. So sometimes there have been times when I've done a little more HIIT workout. Sometimes I don't do any, but I'm able to tune into my body and know what I need for that season of my life. So I'm going to go over these real quick. So number 1 is focusing too much on cardio. 2 is not including strength training. 3 is going from 0 to 100 and getting burned out. 4 is not including flexibility. And 5 is not tuning into your body. So I encourage you guys to not get stuck. Make sure that over the summer, you guys are still exercising, that you're still moving your bodies, or maybe you're not right now and you need to get started and just do it. Don't keep putting it off. If you know that's what your body needs, if you know your body needs exercise, then I encourage you to figure out how to do that and how to get started. And if you guys need some help and support, check the link down below and take advantage of my sale. All right, guys, keep on moving.